Hey, it's Lou Vickery. Come on in. Let's settle a spell. Man, I've been waiting to get here and have an opportunity to visit with you. I am the proprietor of a wise word, the voice of generational wisdom, and author of soon to be 24 books. We're at 23 and growing. And today I want to share something with you that basically is important to me because I've lived it. And that's the unpredictability of life. You know, I think as long as we live, we're going to have some detours along life's path. And I want to share with you a story. It seems like I pick a sports story, but I've lived that, so that's pretty good. I think as I think over my career, one of the places that I was stops I had and where I played was Atlanta. And as a starting pitcher at that time, I was my night to start. And in 1995, I wrote a book entitled Answers to Baseball's Most Asked Questions. Well, and one of the terms in there is get knocked out of the box. Well, let me explain to you what get knocked out of the box is. I started the game in the first inning. I don't get anyone out. There's like 3 hits and 2 walks. And here comes the manager to tell me just how bad I had done. And so he takes me out of the game. And in the baseball terms, that's called getting knocked out of the box. So I got knocked out of the box. I head down toward the showers and down past first base. The old ballpark in Atlanta, you didn't go through the dugout to the dressing room. You had to go through basically about 25 or 30 feet down past first base to go on the stands. Now, the reason I mention that because it's important to my story. I get down and I change clothes and I work my way back down the runway. And when I get to the end of the runway to check the scoreboard, you have the old statement, well, we hadn't had our turn at bat. Let's see how we're doing. I hear the crack of the bat. Now, the crack of the bat is when the ball meets the bat. And I turn to look to see what the action is. And there's a line drive foul ball coming straight toward me. And I cannot get out of the way. It hits me squarely between the eyes. So a bad day just got worse. Well, the only thing above ground was my head. So basically, what happened in this case is that until the ball boy comes down to retrieve the ball, nobody knows exactly what has happened. They don't know I'm there. Well, here I am laid out, and when they get there, it could not have been more perfectly placed, squarely between my eyes, with the seams of the ball and already a big knot. Well, they get an ambulance and they haul me over to Grady Hospital and they checked me out over there and found out what my mother already knew. I got a hard head, but thank goodness. Well, the best part of this story happened with the Atlanta Constitution sports page the next morning. Now, I did wake up with a nice headache and a big knot, but the sports page headline says Vickery knocked out twice. But the best part of it was a subheading. It said X-rays of head show nothing. So all these years, I have used that to my advantage. Well, you think about unpredictability. Well, maybe that's about as unpredictable as you can get, isn't it? Life is unpredictable. We do have detours along the way. And I want to share some thoughts with you about that today as we spend this time together. You and I have a responsibility to make this world a better place to live in. And to that end, I think the one thing that we always should strive for is to have a legacy that outlives us. This long, windy trip called life, as I mentioned, we're going to have detours along the way. One of the keys to life is learning how to make the most of the detours. Life is a very persistent learning laboratory. It keeps repeating the same lessons. It keeps repeating the same lessons until we learn them. So what I'd like to do in our time together today, I want to share about 10 points with you. And we won't spend a great deal of time because I think the points will point out exactly what the message is. You see, in our lifetime, we may not always have the best of everything, but we can make the best of everything that we have. Life is understood backward, but it's lived forward. Living is always ahead and not behind. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen a rearview mirror on an airplane? Nope. Straight ahead. Keep an eye on your standard of life as well as your standard of living. Now, what is the standard of life? Our reputation, our character, what makes up, that's really what makes up who we are. Oh, yeah, we have that reputation. That's what others think of us. But our character, our ability to be honest with both others and with ourselves, to have honesty, truth, think in terms of integrity. How about uprightness? All those things you see go into making our standard of life. So we should take a strong look and keep an eye on our standard of life as well as our standard of living. Don't be so busy making a living that you fail to make life worth living. There's a lot of us, I tell you, that can look back, and I know I can look back over my life and see that. You know, I got a late start in the business world because of professional baseball. I was in my early 30s before I really had an opportunity to do that. And I know I made some mistakes along the line with my family. Think in terms of that. Do you realize that as a young parent, I want you to think about this, that if you from age 0 to 18, there are less than 1,000 weekends. What do we do with those weekends? Do we spend them with our family? Those of you that have young children, think in terms of that. So don't be so busy making a living that you fail to make life worth living. Choose to live this moment as it will be both your first and your last. I've said the now moment. Many of you that have heard me speak before know how much I enjoy talking about having now courage, the courage to do it now, to make the most of what happens now. But it takes courage to do that. Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. Now, that quote's not original to me, but man, it stands out. Think in terms of just, there are some moments that just really stand out. Make sure they're good and positive. Make sure they add to life and not take away from life. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. Agree? That's exactly right. We make a life by what we get. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. The richest people in life are not those that have the most, but those who need the least. Let me read that again. The richest people in life are not those who have the most, but those who need the least. Think in terms. It's not all about money, folks. It's about enjoying life. Make all the years count is better than counting all the years. Every day we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity to make that step forward and make life, as we talked about right at the beginning, to make life better for those around us. That's our goal. So give all you can to life. Don't try to get all you can from life. Give. Make life an opportunity to add to and not to subtract from. I'm Lou Vickery, author of 24 books you can find at awiseword.life/library. And until we meet again, I want you to keep a smile on your face, keep happiness in your heart, and keep optimism on your tongue. And that'll do the job wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Enjoy life.